This is our 30-second pre-roll where our subscribers get to hear a little bit of the backstage magic.
There's magic? I thought it was held together by duct tape.
This
Mostly,
episode,
Duct tape?
go ahead.
this episode
Duct
is brought to you by duct tape. Duct tape. I have to keep these cats in their seats somehow.
Silence is golden, but duct tape is silver.
It is
Thank you
also
for
brought to you by Makeup or Murder. It's not really brought to you by Makeup or Murder, but y'all could totally sponsor me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to another session of Philly by Night. Tonight we are joining our Emissaries Coterie. Tonight's in-game continuity is, if you'll give me just 1 second, our in-game continuity is Sunday, April 27th, 2025. It is a relatively mild night in the valley, and as the sun sets beneath the skyline, we join our kindred deep in the heart of the Lehigh Valley at their temporary coterie haven at the St. Jude's Medical Center. So, a few of us have woken up a little hungry. Ashton, I know we went a hunting. We woke up a wee bit hungry. We went hunting. We managed to narrowly avoid a frenzy. Sharky.
Well,
Yeah, these things happen. But we didn't frenzy, and that's a good thing. Sharky, same to you. We woke up a little bit on the hungry side. We had ourselves a true gangrel start.
A little bit less than a gangrel start, I thought.
Actually, yes, a little bit less than a gangrel start, but we had a little bit of hunger left over from. Oh no, no! It was just two hunger tonight.
Yeah, that sounds very true.
That does sound very true. We only had one player that narrowly avoided a frenzy this evening. Good. But after we've all gotten our hunting and gotten ourselves sorted out for the evening, we have gathered once again because it is time to plan our next moves. We have met with all of the big players in the valley. We have formulated a plan, one that relies on cooperation. An odd goal, but let's see how it works out for them. We have set a goal. We have set a meet. And now all that is left is to get the entire coterie on the same page and pull the trigger. So as you are all trickling in from your different nights and meeting up back once again at the medical center, I turn it over to the four of you.
So, Ian, you said our plan was to get them to align with Ducard and then use him and the rest of them against the potentially Ventru Archon lady? Is there Servire lady, I should say? Is that am I remembering our plan correctly? You're muted.
Thanks for that. Something along those lines, although you still have yet to make a decision.
If I'm going to attempt to seize power as well,
It's kind of still up in the air, isn't it?
I'm planning on taking the airport, one way or the other. That being said, I think it would be easier if we could play off 4 power players as opposed to leaving one of them in charge. If we can play them off of each other, we can seize it and hold it and just make certain that no one individual is looking at us for too long. Make certain that they're fighting with each other so that they can't take it themselves. But the Servire needs to die.
Death for someone that connected is difficult.
No, it's not. You just rip their throats out. It's very easy to kill someone well connected.
Let me amend my statement. Brings difficulties to those who kill them.
Now that is true. She still needs to go, though. We need to find some way to remove her permanently from the board.
Or we find some way to fold her into what we're already doing.
No. We cannot allow the Camarilla to hold any ground. You know how that goes.
Who says she has to remain with the tower?
You cannot convince everyone, especially not those with this level of power, to leave, Mr. Pharaoh. You were successful with an idiot. Ducard has no sense of self-preservation. She is far stronger and far more well-connected, far more influential. For her to leave would be suicide. It's suicide for Ducard, but obviously he has no sense of self-preservation. I mean, look at him. He couldn't even wipe his own ass if she wasn't doing it for him.
Is it suicide, or does her leaving put a crimp in your ambitions?
Her leaving would be suicide for her.
Mm-hmm.
She is a servitor underneath an Archon. She knows secrets that few kindred will ever know. Few Cainites will ever be able to know and articulate. If she is truly a servitor, which I have a feeling she is.
But just feeling.
If she leaves the tower after serving underneath an Archon, he will stop at nothing to destroy her. Folding her into our plans is not possible. She needs to be removed from the board. We either need to force her out in some way, or we eliminate her. One or the other.
This is where I, as a storyteller, am going to break in and let you folks know that from now until it is rolled, if any of you rolls a crit, it will become a messy crit. Don't thank me, thank our audience. Shazi has activated This is where the fun begins, which will automatically convert any critical the next critical that is rolled, whether it be player or SPC, into a messy critical.
Oh, Shazi. Oh, I love you so much. It's time for us to have some fun.
Well, I know who I'm coming to get next time they're on camera. Anyway, I imagine Ashton is just sitting there listening to the Ventru and the Ventru bicker back and forth. And Ashton is just in his own little bubble, and he's not going to say anything quite yet, but he's just looking between the two of them. Like, Continue.
I don't hold the same opinion you do, but I'm willing to defer.
Clearly not. You talked to Toreador into leaving the tower, and it worked. So clearly you don't hold the same opinion. I would have thought that the only way to get Ducard to leave the tower was to push him out of it. However, the difference between Ducard and her, as I mentioned, is that Ducard is an idiot. Absolute mouth-breathing nincompoop. So he didn't quite take into account what that would mean, it seems. She would. If you were going to talk her into leaving the tower, it would have been when we met her. There's not going to be the ability to whittle her down. Not on that.
I will remind you all that you do have a meat set with Baron Tycho, the Bruja Triumvirate, Ducard, and Amanda.
Who's Amanda?
Perkins, the
Perkins.
Ventru backing things.
Ah, yes, the bitch. Got it.
Yes.
I didn't bother to remember her first name because we spent the whole first 3 sessions calling her Perkins. Gotcha.
We need to make it clear between Tycho and the Bruja and Ducard that Perkins will have no purchase. And if she turns against us, then the tower will be turned against us, but the city will be free. At least for a time. Isn't that what the movement is all about, after all?
I'm not convinced that she was acting on behalf of her benefactor. I'm convinced that she was acting on behalf of herself, not the tower.
What does it matter? The tower is just the will of its most influential power holders. If she's a servitor, it doesn't matter if she was acting on his behalf or not.
Because someone who's willing to act on their own behalf against a power structure like the Camarilla means they're doing more than just thinking about leaving.
Or they're thinking about overtaking the people above them, which is the most common view within the Camarilla, the most common goal.
I have something I'd like to interject. Ashton has his hand raised.
Yes, Ashton.
No need to raise your hand. Just an intern.
So, here's the thing. She didn't see what I looked like. I feel like part of this sort of issue that we seem to be running into is we don't know what her motives are. She saw the 3 of you. I was invisible outside the doorway.
She's likely done her research.
Well, maybe. Maybe not.
Well, Ashton, I'm sure she saw us together go visit Ducard originally.
Maybe. We don't know that. My whole train of thought would be is if she recognizes me fine, dandy, all is well, it's not gonna work. But if she doesn't know what I look like and knows me by a name that I don't have to give her, let me run into her and have a conversation and see what I can figure out.
Yes, because she won't recognize the most famous
easiest way
killer
to
of
deal
her
with her
prince.
is if you know what her actual. Well, he had it coming, but let's not go there.
There's nothing wrong with the conversation.
Also, who the fuck
All
just
before you
dies
do
by
it.
getting staked once? Like, come on.
There is... Mr. Farrow, I would agree with you. There's very little that I would say is not worthy of a conversation, at least. I try not to be one to immediately move to violence, so it is very enjoyable. But we had our conversation. If not for the fact that there were 3 of us there, or 4 of us there rather, and Ducard was also there, meaning she most likely did not like her odds in a straight up conflict, I have a feeling Ducard would be dead, and we'd have a lot more problems on our hands.
I remain unconvinced.
I'm sure she sees Ducard as a little too, like, tiny bit too useful to have killed him right then and there. Like, she wanted to use him a little bit longer before she broke her toy.
We already broke her toy. She would have broken him because he would have been more useful dead at that point than he was alive. The only reason why he's still alive is because of the fact that there was less opportunity in that moment to kill him with all of us there. If she thought she could have killed us all in that moment, I guarantee you she would have. Because of the fact that we turned her toy, her soon to be future power player, as she continues to orchestrate the conflict between the 3 factions in order to make her own profits, whatever she's doing in order to maintain chaos here in the valley, to continue while she does whatever she's doing in the background. I don't know what she's doing. She's a Ventru, so most likely something nefarious, most likely regarding the stock market or an investment, or I don't know, maybe even life insurance, who knows. But she's clearly doing something in regards to that. And the longer we leave her alive, the longer we leave a servitor of an Archon alive, the more likely the Camarilla is going to use that as a vestige in order to move back in. Because even if we have her leave the tower, in theory, she's still prepared the grounds for whatever's going on in the background. Again, something I don't even expect to actually work.
I'm willing to give it a try.
Give what a try? Convince her to leave the tower and most likely have her laugh in your face?
Convince her that something else than what she's currently doing is in her best interests.
And what would that be, precisely? Convince me.
I need to understand her interests first.
And if her interests are her sire's interests?
Then I'll burn that bridge when I come to it.
Do you have it in you to burn that bridge when you come to it? Because as it seems now, at this point, Mr. Farrow, it seems to me you're unwilling to make a move that is necessary.
I don't think violence is ever necessary.
And that's where you're wrong. What would you say to the King of France in the 1700s when the revolutionaries were at his door? That he should step down willingly?
I would say he made a series of mistakes that ended up with revolutionaries at his door, and that he was merely reaping the consequences of those mistakes. I would also encourage you not to make similar ones. Don't make enemies where you don't have to.
And if an enemy is not already made, but exists predetermined?
No enemy is predetermined. Do you believe in predestination?
I believe in ideology.
And your
And
ideology endorses violence.
I believe that there can be no purchase with the Camarilla.
It's interesting.
So we're going to press pause on the philosophical debate because I believe Ashton and Dr. Beck had something that they wanted to do while you gentlemen hammered out the finer points of how we're going to go about this tonight.
Yeah, so while they're kind of bickering back and forth about basically what comes down to is freaking philosophy and ideology, Ashton is going to look at Beck with a look of like, can we go somewhere else? Wait for a response. Like
Beck's just
without
gonna
saying
nod and tilt their head towards the door, like, let's go.
Yeah, Ashton gets up and struts across the room and grabs Beck's arm and just like walks out.
So, where do you two plan to go?
Like just walk around around the block, like go down and go on the street and just like maybe walk around the block that the hospital is.
Okay. All right. While y'all are doing that, Sharky, your phone, as some time goes on, enough for Beck and Ashton to kind of get out, get some fresh air, stretch their legs. Your phone buzzes. It's Tycho. She is ready for the meet. And then another buzz from Hush that says she's ready for the meet. And then another buzz from Ducard that he is ready for the meet. Everyone should be arriving at the designated location in about 30 minutes in game time. So, Ian, Sharky, are we going for cooperation? Or are we getting all of the heads in one room and decapitating the snake?
We have to make a decision, Mr. Farrow. This was your idea. And if it goes poorly, if she outplays you, which she will because she is older than you. She's older, more experienced, more powerful, with a lot more support from established
Someone
structures.
who claims to despise the Camarilla and everything they stand for, you certainly talk like one of them.
They are effective in many of the things that they do.
Age has nothing to do with ability.
Have you ever fought an elder, Pharaoh?
I have fought.
Have you ever fought an elder?
I prefer not to talk about my past.
If you've had, then you know I am scared of them.
And if you have, you understand why not to make them your enemy.
Not without a lot of backing. We've got a lot of backing in one room. One of whom, I know, Baron Tycho, certainly would like to see Amanda continue. I know Ducard is a coward who's only thinking about his own survival. And the last, which is the triumvirate, likely would do anything to see Aventru's head on a pike. We've got the strength to move against her as a group, as a unit. We won't have this opportunity again. If she gets her tentacles in them and manages to worm them apart further,
I'm here
she
to
will be
support
able to
you.
pick us apart.
I'm here to support Ashton. I am here to support Dr. Beck. If the three of you decide that that's what's necessary, I will support you.
I didn't ask if you'll support us. I asked, do you truly think, truly, not ideological concerns, do you truly think there's a cold chance in hell you can actually convince her to do anything beyond just biding her time?
Yes.
Then you may attempt it. And when she kills you, don't come crying to me.
Well,
It would
he'll
be a
be
little
unable to.
impossible if I were dead. I'll make sure not to haunt you, though.
You'd be surprised. We can cry now when we're dead.
Again, I don't think we're dead.
I mean, we quite literally are. But go on. If you believe that this can be done, I'll let you attempt it. But I'm going to make my own moves in the background. I'm going to be preparing for when she inevitably betrays us.
Do you have your dinosaur?
Well, let's go gather the other two then. They'll probably want to know what they're doing. Are we going to have who of us is going to be the talker? Should it be you or should it be Ashton? He's better at persuading a lot of people, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if you're that skilled in persuasion in that way.
Ashton is a better voice than I am, especially in front of a crowd.
And it'd probably be best for him to give whatever speech you're prepared to try to get them to work together. I'll speak with Tycho at some point if we get a chance alone and see what I can convince her to do or what I convince her to stay her hand, because I have a feeling this is not going to turn out well. But if it does not spiral into violence, I might be able to convince her to at least go along with aspects of our plan. You're going to have to deal with Hush. You or Dr. Beck. I don't know if she's going. I don't know what they're going to say. The triumvirate, quite honestly, is the wild cards.
I mean, last time you met with the Triumvirate, Hush seemed reasonable. It's Holt that you really got to worry about.
Yes, but they're still the wild cards.
I think as far as the three of them go, they share a similar ideology.
Well, I'm gonna go grab the other two.
Promise
And
me
then-
something.
Ask, and then I shall decide.
Don't panic when Perkins walks into the room. If you want to be seen as a king, act as a king.
Who said I wanted to be a king?
You want to lord over an airport, don't you? That's a domain of some kind.
I want to make an investment. There's very few kindred who can get in or out of here without going to the airport or going through Philly. Philly's a war zone. Fucking nightmare. There's a lot of boons to be had, a lot of money to be made off of that airport. That's what I really want. That being said, I'll promise to maintain discipline while she is in the room as best as I can.
That's more than I asked for. I'll take it.
But if she steps out of line, I'm still going to remove her arms from her shoulders.
I would expect nothing less.
Where did... Oh God, where did those two go?
Perhaps a quick phone call is in order.
You know, where did those two go? Ashton? Dr.
Literally
Beck?
just around the block and back.
Ashton, I don't know how you deal with Sharky on the daily like this. He just some days I can't. I swear.
Literally, that's literally why I grabbed you and walked out of the room, because Jesus Christ, they need to kiss already.
It's just so much. All the time.
Like, let bygones be bygones, or whatever, or whatever is applicable here for these two. But like, Jesus, it is literally, they have two very different ideologies, yet they both want to be right all the goddamn time.
That can't just come to a compromise. No, never that.
And half of the time, they're both right. Sharky is the failsafe to Ian wanting to be a not murder being. Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
They
they're
just
both
told me
right.
and court like
We
they
need to get
should.
them, we should get them one of those
Get along
sweatshirts
shirts?
that fit two people. Yeah, get along sweatshirts. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? Hold on
Let me
here.
grab my phone.
Yeah. Use that thingy to order one for them. We could have it shipped overnight, right?
I need art of this.
So
I
Ashton
need it
has no
more
dots
than
in
I-
technology, so he could kind of do it, but it does takes a minute.
It is going to be painfully slow while you navigate your smartphone first to the Google and eventually landing on Amazon, where you can, in fact,
Ashton
get a 2-person hoodie sent to you in 2 days.
I mean, Ashton is like very slowly doing it, and then he looks at Dr. Beck. Ashton kind of gets bored with the idea. It goes, you know what? We'll think about it. But so, like, here's the thing that I'm sitting here thinking the whole time they're going back and forth with each other is that literally Perkins is tied into what she's tied into, and everything Sharky said is correct. Even if she is filling her own ambitions, it's still going to be for the greater good of the tower, because that's just how that shit works. If she stays a part of the tower and she gets the domain, even if it's for her own fucking reasons outside of it, that's still a win for the tower. That's still going to be under tower control. And if she is in a position that Sharky thinks she's in, if she leaves, they will just kill her. It is very very hard for people in certain positions to get out of them and go be freewheeling around the world, right? So like we're missing some context with this woman. We are making a lot of assumptions, and quite frankly, those assumptions are why the two knuckleheads can't come to a fucking agreement. Anyway,
Yeah.
that is all. What are your thoughts on the matter?
I'm in complete agreement with you. I'm so sick and tired of this back and forth. Just come to a compromise, come with plan A and back up plan B, and then we deal with the fallout. Because that's what you and I typically handle, is the fallout of their plans going awry.
Yeah, it's really funny, isn't it? Too bad you're not here, Sharky. So anyway, yeah, that was that.
As the two of you make your lap and you get back to the main entrance of the medical center, Sharky and Ian would be coming out, kind of looking around to see where you two are at. So the four of you are now, once again, back together at the entrance of the medical center. There is a car, your car is parked over in the parking lot. And you can hear, the usual goings on inside of the medical center. It looks like Dr. Ball is doing his thing, just, puttering about, keeping the place tidy, maybe conducting some weird Tremere experiments.
So, we're letting Ian go through with his semblance of a plan.
Sharky decided to humor me.
I appreciate y'all getting along.
Oh my god, it's a fucking miracle. What the fuck happened in the 5 minutes we were gone? Who died?
Our Akita.
Evita.
It's good to work with professionals.
Yeah, yes, and now that's stuck in my head, Einar. Fuck.
No one's died yet. We'll see what happens once Perkins gets her hands on us, but who's to say?
So do I have permission to turn into a giant snake if shit hits the fan?
You were going to do that anyways. Aren't you always a giant snake?
Schmack. Ashton playfully pretends to backhand Sharky.
Just for the record, you don't ever need permission from me for anything.
I mean,
I just that was more so me asking in a trying to be a slightly funny way of asking. If shit hits the fan, can I bite a motherfucker as a snake?
I have no problems with that. Or we could just give them a little tippy tap and put them to sleep. Either way, I don't care.
Okay.
as I mentioned before, there's a lot of hard power there, so we should maybe avoid killing anyone.
Well, I'm talking about if they start fighting each other.
Oh, if they start fighting each other, we just leave the room, right, Ian? And then we deal with whoever's left over.
If differences are irreconcilable, then
you're going to try to talk
reconcile them.
Are you going to try to talk them out of fighting mid-fight? If they start punching each other? Or are you
No,
going to try to...
at that point, if a fist is thrown, it's irreconcilable differences.
Okay. That's actually the most reasonable thing you've said. All right. So if I throw a fist, will you say it's still irreconcilable differences?
Oh, I think you just want to hurt something.
Correct. Anyway. Regardless. Anyway. We're letting Ian's plan go through for now, and I'm going to be looking into some things in the background and making certain I can watch Perkins, but we'll need some. I'll be doing that while this is going down. Most likely each of us. Ashton, you're going to be our talker. You're going to be our representative.
Of course.
Ian, if we break, you deal with Ducard. Dr. Beck, do you want to deal with? Do you like Hush?
Hush is fine. They tend to seem to be the leader of that little triumvirate group. But I don't know if I could handle fuckface.
Tycho? Or Holt?
Holt, that's his name.
Okay. I believe Hush is going to be the representative because if Holt were to join this party, I'm pretty sure Holt would literally just have a mental breakdown, snap, and try to kill somebody. So I think they're sending Hush. But
I have a feeling all three of them are going to show up, and Holt is going to yeep, yeah.
I would be surprised. I think
How
Hush
does
is the
one
actual
yeep,
leader.
yeah.
No, Hush is 100% the leader. Holt is the voice.
Which is why I don't think he'll be there. But that's a different story. I'll deal with Baron Tycho. I'll speak with Baron Tycho, see what I can do to try to convince her to work with them, at least for now. I have a feeling hers is going to have a lot more strings attached. But should we break, that's who we go for. Does that sound like a good plan for everyone?
Sure.
If Holt becomes an issue, I'll talk with Holt.
Oh, and Ashton, you speak with Perkins. Should it be actually maybe? How are your mental defenses, Mr.
Computer.
Farrow? How?
Wait. My computer's being. Hold on. What? My computer blipped. What'd you say, Chan?
I was going to say you go with Perkins, but actually, on second thought, Farrow, how are your mental defenses? How do you do against people attempting to like infiltrate your mind or rend it to shreds or tell you to do something and making you do it? How are you at resisting that?
It hasn't been a problem.
Does that mean you've not had it happen to you, or you haven't been affected by it in the past?
I would assume that if I had been affected by it, I wouldn't know.
That is fair, actually, fairly accurate. Well, all right. So then, maybe we'll have you speak with Perkins. Actually, you should speak with Perkins. You're the one who wants to convince her to join us, or to join this whole situation. So you speak with Perkins. Ashton, you speak with you instead. You instead speak with Ducard. You can level with him as another fancy person, right?
I can, yes.
Good. Does it sound like a good plan for you, Mr. Farrow?
It sounds like an idea, not a plan, but I'm willing to go through with it.
Well, it was your idea, so.
Correct. You're assuming that I have a plan.
You do not do much to inspire confidence.
Always keep them guessing. Remember that too.
And quick word. You're not supposed to keep us guessing. We're on your side.
I haven't decided that you are yet.
I am. I've been nothing but helpful to you.
Oh, I agree. But you said all of you.
I said we as a collective, but
Right. There's
No,
two of you that I could say are, but
Oh, he doesn't like me. I see how it is.
I didn't say I didn't like you. I said that I don't necessarily trust you can keep yourself composed yet.
you can trust Sharky to go along with the plan until he sees an opening.
That tracks with what I already thought.
So as
Nonetheless,
long as you have set your expectations of Sharky appropriately, you can trust you understand him and can deal with him. Believe me, I've done it.
Then I will do my best to calibrate my expectations.
you sound like you're talking to a fucking toddler.
Never, Sharky. I would never treat you like a toddler. I've never put you to bed. Never ever put you down for a nap. You are correct.
I would like to point out in season 2 where you turned Sharky off.
I was being sarcastic.
Multiple times.
I would like to point out that there have been at least 3 separate occasions where you have just severed Sharky's spinal cord and said, "You're done."
That's why I was being sarcastic.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway,
So
let's get moving in that direction.
who's going to be doing the driving? Are we having our ghoul drive, or are we leaving the ghoul at home?
Sharky's going with his simple. He's actually going to say that he wants to go on his own, because he wants to do a little bit of a perimeter drive beforehand, make certain that nobody's got any assets hiding around, just in case. While the 3 of them go, and then Sharky will join in.
Okay.
If that's the case, I could drive.
All right. Go ahead and give me we'll call it a composure and drive.
Oh God! Please tell me you have dots and drive.
It's a sliding scale.
What's the level to not get in an accident?
Fairly low. You will be taking the road to get to the meeting place is primarily backcountry, so
Oh, thank God.
low. Never 0, but low.
2 successes.
2 is plenty. You manage to not only keep your composure while driving, but you don't run into any Pennsylvania State Troopers along the way.
Ooh.
This meeting place, which I have posted in your Coterie chat, there is only one road that accesses this particular area. It is a small, run-down storage complex along the Lehigh River. It is right on the river. It used to be a place where the raw materials for the steel mill would be housed before it was moved along the river further on to the steel mill. So, the ore and the raw coke before it was turned into steel would be stored here. Those complexes have long since been torn down, and now it looks to be more of a agricultural storage. A lot of hay, seed, things like that. But when you drive by, you only see the car, like what cars you can assume belong to the individuals also arriving at the meet. There does not seem to be anything other than a couple of individuals who seem well dressed standing outside of the door. Clearly some sort of lookout or guards because, after all, we are conducting kindred business, and it's best if the mortals don't stumble upon it. But it does look like there are a fair mix of people. They don't appear armed. It more looks like everybody brought at least one person to kind of stand outside and keep a lookout for things, mill about, make it look like normal business activities are going on. So, Ian, you would know that this is a fairly common venture tactic. Usually post up a ghoul outside, but it does look like there's at least one person from each invested party.
Good.
Which means that if you wanted to, Sharky, if you wanted to bring if you wanted to leave your driver outside to also keep an eye out, you would be able to.
Yeah, and he would do that. But additionally, on the way there, Sharky is either going to call or send a message to Michelle, sending him Perkins' name and saying, "How much do you know about the Survivor? And how much would it be worth it to you to know where she's at?"
You receive a message speedily, which is odd for Michel because he takes his sweet time getting back to you.
He is an old Ventru after all.
You can tell that this was likely composed by a ghoul because he is the hunt and peck type. But the speed in which you receive that message, Perkins? ? Not Dante Russo, or not Dominic Russo's child.
We're in the Lehigh Valley.
The next message that you get is, "You've done well, my boy. Such a gift will be rewarded handsomely." So, do we all park and head in?
Of course.
Yeah. Get the doors for my passengers, of
Why
course.
not?
As you all head inside, you will see that a table has already been laid out. And you can see Perkins, Ducard, Hush, Holt, and Tycho sitting at the table, more or less patiently waiting for the four of you to arrive. If you would all be so kind as to give me a wits and insight, please. If you have relevant specialties in profiling, emotional states, anything like that, you may add them. Otherwise, just a wits and insight.
Can I ask a question here?
You can always ask a question.
Can I make an argument by trying to look for other things for a wits and etiquette?
I will allow for an intelligence and etiquette.
That also works for me. That is the same pool. So
I will allow for an intelligence and etiquette or a wits and insight, whichever you prefer. And that goes for the whole table.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Being a anesthetician as well as a cosmetic surgeon, has to pay very close attention to people's facial and body language. Would that play as a part of that bonus?
I'm going to say no because it's not a relevant specialty,
Okay.
but I like where your head's at.
I would assume my
Real quick.
gangrel specialty does not apply here.
Your gangrel specialty would only apply to Tycho.
Okay, so then that would mean that it would still be 6 because there's 3 other people here, or 4 other people here.
Was 2 enough? Because I rolled a bestial if not.
It is a sliding scale. It's not a pass fail. It's a what do you get? So we've got
I'm gonna
2
spend a point of
3s
willpower.
and a 2. Okay.
4.
Okay, so we've got a 4, we've got a 3, we've got a 2. And all we need is Dr. Bex.
I need you to roll 5 or 1.
2 on that.
Okay, do you want to use any willpower?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Rolls a crit, gets a 5.
Hopefully not. Yeah, it's still 2.
Okay. So we will start with our 2s. It is not difficult to see that Holt is agitated. He's already not having a good time. Ducard does seem to be shifting in his seat. Perkins is seated next to him, perfectly poised. And across from her is Hush and Tycho, who are likewise perfectly poised. So you have on one side of the table, you have the 3 anarchs. On the other side of the table, you have the 2 Camarilla. For my 3s, we get a little bit more information. While Perkins seems poised, there is something rippling just beneath the surface that you can't quite put your finger on. Meanwhile, Holt is not just agitated, but champing at the bit. He is a wild card. You would also see that Hush has her hand on Holt. Not, overt, but like just under the table, she has her hand on his arm. For my 4s, Hush looks as though she is actively restraining Holt. She is irritated with Holt. She is hiding it well behind her poised demeanor, but she is not happy. It almost looks as though she brought him here out of necessity to keep an eye on him, as opposed to letting him roam about the valley unsupervised. Holt looks like he's fixing a sin. That man is clearly up to no good. And when you look at Perkins, if you didn't know any better, you'd swear you see a faint sheen of sweat on her brow. Obviously, Kindred don't sweat, but there's the way her brow is furrowed. Were she mortal, she'd likely be sweating right now. Ducard is a mess. He is barely holding himself together. But Tycho, and because of your gangrel specialty, I am going to give you a little extra something. Tycho could not be calmer. She looks like somebody who has just gotten absolutely everything she wants without anybody having to say anything. The four of you are greeted, and Tycho gestures to open seats for you all to sit at. Welcomes the four of you to the proceedings, and more specifically, thanks you all for your hard work and dedication in making this meeting happen. Because she feels that something far larger than just cooperation can be achieved tonight. Oh no, we lost a DOS.
Oh no! That's not good.
Oh.
That's not good.
Oh my
No,
god.
DOS is fine.
Kick him. Kick him.
I can't. Y'all are in like one of the Carolinas, right?
No, I meant kick him from the stream. Bonk. But yes, we are in one of the Carolinas.
I give him a ha and a hey-ya, and I kick him,
And I
sir.
Kick him, sir.
It's okay.
It certainly seems like we've done quite a bit of work. You're right. And it does seem like it's a good thing that this meeting is called, wouldn't you say, Mr. Farrow?
I think it's excellent that we're all able to sit down. With that, I'll have a seat. Look to Ashton.
Sharky's keeping eye contact with Tycho and just shoots a smile as he sits.
Adam. Ashton stays standing. He doesn't sit. Just as he's talking and giving sort of opening remarks to this sort of convention of the Lehigh Valley, as it were. Ladies, gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for deciding to come together this evening. We do have some business to discuss about cooperation and trying to make everyone happy with what they want. John froze. I'm sorry. Ashton wouldn't have.
You're fine.
Brain buffer.
Sometimes we need a second. It's all good.
So let me, the player, be reminded of something. Our goal is to get them to all cooperate in cohabitating in the valley, correct?
Your goal was to stabilize the valley by any means necessary.
Right, but that has now... This is more from the players, because I am perpetually confused.
The players have decided that it is a better choice to get everybody to cooperate.
Gotcha.
Ian's pushed the cooperation agenda. Sharky's pushed the execute agenda.
Only Perkins. The rest are fine. Only Perkins. Maybe Descartes if he continues to be Descartes. But only Perkins. He only hates Perkins. Gotta kill them blue bloods.
So we have gathered you all here this evening to make arrangements on what that sort of cooperation would look like amongst everyone here in the valley, so everyone's needs can be met. So with that in mind, he's going to actually open up to them for what they're sort of looking to get out of it, all of the Baron/Prince figures. And I think he's going to look to Hush first. What is it you're exactly wanting out of this, as far as any territory or anything like that? We can negotiate it. Very smooth talking.
It takes a moment because she's typing her answer out on a little computer thingy on the ARC.
Mhm.
Freedom. To not have to be under somebody's boot heel.
This draws a scoff from Ducard. There is no such thing as freedom. You trade one master for another. This seems to agitate Holt further.
Dr. Beck's going to quietly move along the walls, closer to Holt. In case.
And then he's going to ask Hush again another question. Is there any particular area in the valley you would like to have for you and yours?
No.
Okay. Gotcha. And then he is going to look over at Baron Tycho. If I remember correctly, there was a very specific place that you wanted, correct?
Oh, several very specific places, darling.
Okay. I know one of them being the place we met you at, correct?
Do you think I would
That-
give up my own haven?
No. And at this point, can we say, just for simplicity's sake, Ashton brought a map, like he printed out a map of the area. And he's kind of circling where everything is, and he's trying, as he's talking, now that they're all in the same room, trying to draw borders of like who would get what piece of the valley where. And then as far as us trying to have all of everyone cohabitating, you mentioned there were several other places you would like to continue to have in your possession in the valley. What exactly would the rest of those places be? I know we talked about one already.
I could not be satisfied with any arrangement that does not include the steel stacks and the casino at a minimum.
Okay, so he takes on the map, he writes Tycho's name, and then puts Steel Stacks Casino. And he's gonna look at the only other people left, which is Perkins and Ducard. Took me a minute. And then he's going to be like, okay, so what about y'all?
There is a small nod from Amanda, and Ducard squares his shoulders. That they are claiming, obviously, the airport, but ideally they would be taking the lion's share of Bethlehem. So from the airport to the river,
Okay.
and from the river to the Bethlehem Golf Club, which is
So
a fairly large chunk of Bethlehem.
as a non Pennsylvania resident, help me out here, Einar.
Okay.
On a visual on that, what would that look like?
So that is roughly a third of the greater Lehigh Valley area.
Okay, and then as far as what Tycho was asking for the minimum, right? What would anything that Tycho asked for be covered up in what they're asking for?
They do not overlap.
Okay.
The old steel stacks is on the other side of the river. So the area that she's looking at comprises most of South Bethlehem.
Mm-hmm. Also, I have another question because I'm going to admit something maybe a little bad. I have not looked at a map of the area. Does the river cut it vertically in half, or does it cut it at horizontal?
It's horizontal.
You're muted, Einar.
It cuts it horizontal and then winds north. So
Okay.
the river separates most of Bethlehem and Easton from South Bethlehem, and it
Okay.
also separates Bethlehem from Allentown because you've got Easton to the north.
Mhm.
Bethlehem is sandwiched in between Allentown and Easton.
Right.
And the river is the partition, the Lehigh River, as it kicks up to the north, it separates Allentown and Bethlehem.
Okay. So Hush and the Bruja Triangle didn't want any specific territory. They just wanted a space where they didn't have to sort of, for lack of a better term, kowtow to anybody. Perkins
Correct.
wants from the airport to Bethlehem.
Yep, she wants effectively the western portion of Bethlehem.
Okay, and then Baron Tycho is going to be in the southern half, on the opposite side of the river with what she wants. Right?
Yep.
Am I understanding that correctly? Okay, so this is what Ashton is doing while they're talking. So he takes the section that Perkins and Ducard want and draws a line and writes their name in it. He then takes the other third on the opposite side of the river, gives that to Tycho, and then the other third of the valley goes to Hush and the rest of the Bruja Triumvirate. And then he's going to put the map in the middle and tell them all to look at it and go from there.
Quite a large domain you want to carve out, Perkins and Ducard. That's quite ambitious, considering how much you currently are capable of holding. Didn't you leave the airport abandoned?
I mean, that is a good point. That is a good point. While this is going on, you will hear a growl from across the table. Come from Holt.
Move even closer. Like about to put my hand, like standing close enough I could reach out and just put my hand on his shoulder.
Right on the off button.
Yep.
Okay.
Ashton wants to ask Holt what he's growling about, but he turns his head like he's about to say something, looks and sees where Dr. Beck is, and just thinks better of it. I don't like that face. What the fuck?
And this man says, or we could just take it all. And Dr. Beck, I am going to need you to make a dexterity and brawl for me, please.
Oh, no.
Your
Oh,
difficulty
no,
is 9.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Is he going for me?
No, he's not going for you.
You do
Okay.
realize what that means, right?
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not going to take that 9 at all. I do not have the
No.
dice to do it.
Einar. They paid the monies. They paid the points. That's a messy.
Oh, you're right. They paid the points. That is a messy. You are absolutely right. So we're going to cash that in.
Oh, thank God it wasn't us. Thank God it wasn't
You're
us.
absolutely right. They paid the points. They paid the piper, and now the bill comes due. Because Holt did, in fact, get a critical on that. Dr. Beck, Ashton, Sharky, Ian, you watch as Holt moves with unnatural speed. Just on the edges of your perception. And his hand swings back and flashes through the air. And Ducard's head rolls clean off of his shoulders.
There is just a strange, toneless, roaring sound from Hush. And it looks like before he managed to jump up and over there, Hush got rather a lot of his skin from the hand that she had on him.
And with that, well, this is going well. Sharky looks over to Ian.
Ian is keeping the poker face on, but inside his spirit lapsed.
Now we need a roll from Hush. So if our wonderful storyteller would not mind giving us a roll in our storyteller channel.
So you think it would be Tycho first or Hush first? Which one do you want me to roll?
Let's do Hush first because of that messy, because he needs his consequences.
Heaven help us all.
I feel like I should rouse for toughness at this point.
Do you have rapid reflexes?
No.
Shame that.
He didn't attack me yet, though.
This is true. You know what? Fuck it. If you want to rouse for toughness, if anybody has toughness and wants to rouse for it, now's the time.
I'm hungrier!
Unfortunately, I do not.
I think the only two who have the toughies are the Ian and the Sharky.
Does Ian have toughness?
Yeah. And he will be making that.
Just hope
I will be using willpower.
Why?
So I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
Are we making it worse?
Yeah.
Good.
The dice said, "Fuck you twice."
Yeah, but as Holt decapitates Ducard, Hush goes flying after him. She has already peeled the skin off of his back.
Oh.
And she... Am I correct in assuming that that's... Okay.
The roll I did was a firearms roll.
She, again, with unerring, like with uncanny speed and unerring accuracy, she pulls a large pistol from her belt and proceeds to obliterate Holt's head from the back. It is a full-on magazine dump, and now 2 bodies have ashed.
Well,
What do y'all think about the way it's
Oh,
divvied up now?
Oh, hang on. Just wait.
I
There's
have another
more.
roll to make. I'm sorry.
Well, this just escalated very quickly, and we didn't do not shit.
Are we
So
surprised
I'm
that we
proud-
already anticipated this? Or at least me and Sharky did.
Because I don't think any of you have celerity, do you?
Nope.
no.
No.
I mean, really, Shazi, I'm coming for your kneecaps on principle for that, but you actually did us a favor because you just made this 10 times easier.
Yeah. We are blaming the messy crit for the first one because he had to win in the most disgusting way possible.
And for the 3rd time this evening,
Oh my god.
Tycho stands and blinks to the other side of the table, just behind Perkins. And with a twist and a yank, the woman's head comes free. Tycho tosses it over her shoulder as though she were discarding an apple core. Done with this? Anybody else hear the Rains of Castamere?
Oh. Oh.
And then walks very calmly back to the other side of the table, helps Hush back into her seat, and the 2 sit down. And Tycho, with a smile, looks at the 4 of you and very politely thanks you.
Well, now that those who were negotiating bad faith are no longer a problem, let's go ahead and actually come up with a better plan for the situation at large. Wouldn't you agree, Hush, Tycho?
You wanted the airport, did you not?
Ah, you see right through me. Yes, indeed. So, this, I believe, is the best situation possible. So, let's begin to divvy up properly. Now, Hush, I know you said you didn't want anywhere in particular, but I'm certain you and what was her name? The gambler. Oh, by the way, we just achieved my mission, by the way. There's no the Toreador running the valley is now dead. So there we go. So tell the gambler that. Do you think she would have a preference on what domain your group would acquire? No? All right. To make certain that it has a fairly equal economic footing as Tycho, we should probably find something specific that would give you guys some. You would not like equal economic footing to Tycho? Where would you like to then? Now that the people, as I said, the people negotiating bad faith are gone, where would you like to be?
And she's just going to gesture with her hand that here is fine.
All right. Well, okay. So Sharky's gonna Sharky takes takes the butt of the pencil, like basically erases everything that's already been done. Because there's no need to have this anymore. Okay. So he starts redrawing this area. The area directly around here is being carved out as a domain. He's taking Tycho's area. And what I'm thinking for Tycho, because now there's 3 groups all particularly here. I'm thinking for Tycho, everything south of the river here, towards up until the point where we hit the cold storage. Does that look good?
Tycho will hold up her very finely manicured hand, as if to say, like, you've been offered the airport, but Tycho will be taking the valley as Baron. After all, and she looks over at Hush almost lovingly and runs a clawed finger up her décolleté, up her throat, and across her chin. You'll make a fine Reeve. And so will the gambler. Any opposed?
I just want stability. And if y'all can come together and get along like you seem to, that's all I care about.
Honestly, same.
Oh, we get along very well, don't we, Hush?
So this has been in the makings for a little bit here. Question. Did you two consort with each other before we came in?
Well, I needed someone to keep an eye on Holt. And then I needed all of the heads in the same room. I knew Holt couldn't contain himself when faced with them. And she'll look over at the ash pile that was Ducard. Such pettiness. And I've been intent on getting my claws on Perkins for some time now. So, for your part in all of this, how can I best reward you as the newly crowned Baron of the Valley?
Is going to look at the map. Semi-independence, everything full of North Casaquita, I probably mispronounced that. Casaqua, Northampton, Catasauqua. Everything north of Interstate 22 will be our principality for now, for the time being. And the Lehigh University going to the Tremere who lives there. He would likely like that as a continued domain for him.
Ignatius, yes, he's done a good job staying out of my way and not causing too much of a ruckus. These are amenable.
Would anyone else like to contest this?
There's more typing on the arc.
If you're asking what we're individually interested in, I have my own interests.
What do you mean by semi-independent?
Simple. Well, I would like to not be forced to pay a blood tax to the newly crowned Baron. And I would like for any oversight to be from our newly crowned Baron to be mainly kept At a minimum. Obviously, keeping the masquerade in check, we'll both do that. We'll make certain that that stays in check. But for the most part, remaining mostly handling our own business for the time being.
So, if I'm hearing you correctly, a non-interference treaty.
Agreed. And perhaps not only just a pact of non-interference, but a pact of mutual aid, a pact of mutual defense, as it stands.
And Tycho will look over at Hush. Almost as if like well, what do you think?
This is amenable. The deal with you is acceptable.
Ashton, Dr. Abarca, do you have anything to say? Ian, I know you have your own ambitions to a degree, but they have not weighed in, and I'd like to hear from the rest of our allies.
Does the area we carved out have a nightclub? Or somewhere I could turn into a nightclub?
There
He'd be
are
after Tycho.
there are concessions that we can make for a nightclub.
I mean, I'd be more than happy to put in the work to repurpose an abandoned warehouse. I just need one in the area we're taking.
And allow your storyteller to take a peeky peek at the map real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of this is kind of residential and
Great hunting grounds, though.
Oh, yeah.
For Ashton, because he's a trapdoor. So he needs a place to hunt.
There is a pub.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but give me a second because I know that there are other places, especially once you get into like the valley proper. At least there used to be.
I mean, for simplicity's sake, if you just want to say that we agree on one and we find it later, that's fine.
Yep. That won't be an issue. There are yes. There's a few places within like Northampton that can be repurposed into a a fairly sizable club with a little bit of work, with a little bit of investment. That's absolutely something that can be done. And they would not have a problem with you opening a business. They're not even going to ask for any kind of like tithe or kickback or anything like that because it's within the agreed upon domain that Sharky has effectively claimed.
Bet.
Well, in all honesty, aside from safe travel through area if needed, all I ask for is any Duskborn that happen to pass through, be safe. No hunts on them or nothing like that. Or at least given safe passage to our domain area.
What do you think we are? The tower?
I've heard of both sects having issues with them, so I'm just wanting to make that claim sure.
I have no issue with the clanless or the Duskborn. As far as I am concerned, if they are not causing a problem in my domain, they are not a problem for me to deal with.
And that's all I wanted. And I appreciate that open mindedness on y'all's part. Because I know there are some, regardless of whatever sect they are part of, have a huge bias against them.
Do not mistake me for some altruistic do-gooder. It is not open-mindedness, it is pragmatism. Why would I waste resources on these individuals when I can simply allow them to move freely through my domain, provided they do not cause an issue for me?
I appreciate that.
Now,
When you say provided they do not cause an issue for you, what counts as issue?
oh, making messes, causing breaches, things of that nature, making more of themselves within my domain. These are things that I cannot abide. However, if they were to reside within my domain, follow my rules, and keep to the minimum required decorum, they're just another citizen of my domain, no different than any other kindred that resides here.
Citizen is a loaded word.
Well, I prefer it to civilian. Citizen implies a measure of duty.
Which is what makes it a loaded word.
This is true. The only thing I require of those that dwell within my domain is provide for the common defense, not leave messes for my people to clean, not break the laws that bind most civilized kindred.
The intern had something he wanted.
The mountaintop campus.
Why?
Interested in the advancements going on there.
Would this be personal domain or added to what Sharky already controls?
Consider it personal. I am no baron. I don't need a city.
Then you are willing to dicker.
I will admit I am impressed by your show here, but a bit dismayed.
Dismayed.
Consequence always follows death.
Don't you worry about the Archon. Let me worry about the Archon. After all, now that I have secured the valley, it is my job to defend it. Would you not agree?
I do agree it would fall to you, but again, consequences happen to the best of us.
Oh, and I expect Russo to be plenty upset that I discarded his child. But
Why should he be upset? We took down the monster that went psycho.
there is a moment where Tycho just kind of smiles. That is true. After all, it's not my fault that she frenzied. We tried our best.
No, him.
Oh. Even more elegant. The dead cannot be punished a second time.
Agreed. Agreed.
And we put down the attacker. We took
Yes.
care of him.
Holt is no more.
All said and done, I think quite the good job. Commendations all around.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yep. Such a shame.
Well,
Intern,
Hmm?
would you be willing to help with common defense?
Yes.
It would be remiss of me not to assist where I could.
And you would be willing to perhaps share the information that comes out of the campus?
Of course.
If you are permitted nominal ownership, that would tie you to our domain.
It would. But it's not the only tie that I have.
And Hutch is going to look up at Tycho.
we can have the papers drawn up tomorrow evening.
Excellent.
That means we should have them to you well before sunrise. Now, is there anything else? I do so very much appreciate you all entertaining me and being so amenable. This has been quite possibly some of the easiest negotiations I have been involved in. And such wonderful company, too.
It certainly has been profitable for the both of us, I feel.
And as a gesture of appreciation, the four of you will remain. The four of you will maintain hospitality in my domain. After all, I don't want you to think that I'm driving you out or cutting you out in some way.
And the same shall be spoken of for you in ours.
It is greatly appreciated. And she reaches across the table to you, Sharky. Baron.
Baron. As they shake.
So, we're going to go around the table real quick. And we're gonna get some thoughts from our players. We are going to start with Ian. How is Ian feeling about everything that just went down?
Trying to make the most of lemons currently. It's the most.
That is
some fairly bitter lemonade.
Yeah. We did just have a rather violent takeover of the valley, even if it was sudden. Okay. So Ian's dealing with some bitter lemonade. Dr. Beck, how's the good doctor feeling about all of this that just went down?
Internally shaking their head at Sharky in particular. But
Okay.
this went much as they anticipated it going. Tried to warn, but felt like everything was falling on deaf ears anyways. So just kind of like, whatever. Deal with the fallout.
All right. Ashton?
Damn it, I can't let Sharky know he was right. That was his first thought.
I'm sorry.
His second thought, did this bitch just call him a baron? God damn it, his ego's gonna be through the roof.
He did claim a domain.
Oh my god.
That
And
Very sizable one.
a remarkably sizable one. And
Ashton is also just sitting there pinching the bridge of his nose after that, and he's like, God damn it, now I gotta deal with that motherfucker's ego. Worse than a fucking actual Ventrude. Son of a bitch.
And lastly, but not leastly, the newly minted Baron Knox.
Baron.
Baron Sharky Knox. Looking at his new domain, feeling vindicated for how he knew he had a feeling it was going to go down something like this. He expected the Servire to put up more of a fight, but the fact that she didn't, it's no problem for him.
The Servire didn't have a chance to put up a fight.
Yeah, it definitely looked that way. Sharky looks over Sharky is feeling vindicated, though this does mean he has to call off Michelle before he can get here, because that's a problem. Or he can just invite him into his domain. That's not really a problem. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, now I have my own domain. So Michelle can work as an ally. Sharky's feeling like $1 million right now, honestly. The fact that all of this is going the way that it's going, exactly as better than he could have anticipated, honestly. He expected more bloodshed. He expected Holt to also not Holt, Hush to also be dead, quite honestly. He expected this to go a lot more bloody than it was. The fact that only a few people died is even better. So he is joyous, overjoyed even.
Yeah, everything's coming up Sharky.
Everything's coming up Sharky. Now where's the catch?
Catch? What? I would think you would think better of us. Catch? Of course there's a catch. But we'll have to see what comes, because news travels slowly in the Kindred world. So we will have to see what happens when word finally does reach the Archon that his beloved childer has been murdered. Now, granted, the story that's going to reach the Archon, according to Tycho, is that Holt frenzied and killed a bunch of people while you all were trying to negotiate, and the four of you were instrumental in keeping the situation contained. So, we hang the murder of the beloved child on a dead man. We hang the murder of a wannabe Camarilla prince on the head of a frenzying Bruja that is now dead and cannot speak in his own defense. There does seem to be a certain connection between Hush and Tycho. And Tycho has made it quite clear that the gambler will fall in line and make a rather nice reeve. So, at the conclusion of the conversations, Tycho stands, places a hand on Hush's shoulder. Well, we do not wish to take up any further of your time. After all, we have things that we need to attend to. I thank you all for your assistance in this matter, and I look forward to a very long and fruitful partnership.
Au revoir. I bid you adieu.
Y'all have a good night now.
To continue this partnership.
And Hush and Tycho. Oh,
Hush is going to very sort of skittishly kind of unhook herself from Tycho and present Ian with a card.
I'll take it. Give it a quick glance over.
It looks like a business card for a sandwich shop that's been repurposed. And on the back side, scrawled in fairly poor handwriting, is a cell phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Thank you.
and with that, the two exit the building. You do hear some voices outside. The voices raise and then are immediately no more. And then you hear a vehicle exit the parking lot. The parking lot is gravel, so you can hear the tires crunching on the gravel. Leaving the four of you alone here in this this warehouse.
Congratulations, Ductus Ian Farrow.
I don't do titles.
Like someone.
Well, that could have went better, but also worse. So, like,
Oh, I couldn't think that could have gone any better for me, but impressive. This was all your plan all along, right, Mr. Farrow? It was so
not.
Oh, but it was so brilliantly orchestrated.
Then you can thank Tycho for her orchestration. But no, this absolutely was not. And I refuse to take credit for something that's not mine.
You really don't act like a blue blood, Jesus Christ.
well, I would say at this point we know we need to watch the newly made Baron, because that was quite a scheme.
She's not going to be all right with just allowing us to hold our territory for forever. She's going to want it sooner or later. But for now, at the very least, we have a domain, we have our independence, and we can watch for the future. We have our penis! As he points to the
What?
map.
Was that your intention?
That is a reference to something that Sharky has posted in your Coterie chat.
What about a penis, Sharky?
Well, look at the map, and you'll learn it eventually. You'll figure it out.
Was that your intention?
Oh, it's just a joke. I did want everything north of here, so that's honestly why it is. But the fact that it looks like that is just a happy accident.
Happy.
He's gay, Ian. So yes.
Am I? What does that mean?
Oh, don't.
I'm just gonna clean this up.
You still get urges then. Interesting.
Urges? I'm confused.
Stay confused. Stay confused. He smiles. Ashton smiles over at Ian.
I need to check on something. I'm going to head up to the front where we heard the noises. Did they leave bodies?
There are no bodies outside.
All right.
But there are a couple of individuals, likely from Tycho and Hush's retinue, that are getting into the cars of those that were eliminated and driving them off.
Okay.
Yes, Sharky.
Is the thin blood still out there?
The thin blood is still out there, completely unharmed.
Excellent.
So the extra vehicles are being driven off. Your vehicle is still there. Your thin blood is still there. He seems a little shaken, but physically unharmed. You can almost assume that whoever came from Perkins' retinue, you can almost be guaranteed whoever came from Perkins' retinue was also eliminated.
Personal effects of the deceased. Were any left behind?
There's some jewelry, the clothing, obviously, but there's not much in the way of personal effects. There's, wallet, car keys, the clothes, some jewelry. Nothing that seems to be of any physical value. But
looking for physical value. I'm going to head to my car to get a bag for all of this. This goes somewhere else where it can't be used in some sort of object reading.
The medical campus that y'all are staying at does have an incinerator.
Perfect.
So
that is like the best news I've heard all night.
Now that everything has been cleaned up here, are we headed back to So Said Medical Center?
I mean, yeah, I don't know what else we have to do right now.
Yep.
Sharky's not. Sharky's heading to his new airport.
Sharky's headed to his New Haven. Would the rest of you want to get dropped off at the medical center and then make your way over to the airport, or what is everybody else doing? Is the question of the evening.
I think Ashton would probably stay at the medical center one more night.
Okay.
I feel we at the very least owe it to the good doctor who's been hosting us. Update them on the current events that have happened to a degree.
Okay. And Ian?
Truth has a way of getting outed, and I want to make sure that that is covered as much as possible. Currently, I'm not able to make sure that none of us are leaks, but I do want to make sure that the scene itself is not a leak before I actually return to give my respects to the doctor.
So yeah, that's why I grabbed the dustpan and broom to clean up the inside, at least.
You are able to get everything cleared. Like, it is... The ash has been cleaned up. There is no evidence that anything occurred here beyond somebody setting up a table and some chairs. Which...
The table and chairs need to go as well.
Okay. Those are easy enough to break down and kind of stash elsewhere within the building, because they do look like they came from within this building. So, and it was all just like, folding chair, folding table. Like, it's not like this was any kind of like fancy furniture or any kind of grand, woodworking or anything. They're just fold them ups. So you are able to get that broken down and stashed out of sight fairly easily. That's, piece of piss. But yeah, this warehouse now looks as it should. There is not a single sign that anything occurred here other than some tire tracks in the gravel outside, which is... There's all sorts of tire tracks in the gravel outside. because this is an active business. So once you leave, there will be no sign that you were ever here.
Physical evidence done. Now we just wait. All conspiracies have a way of falling apart.
This is true. This is true. As the old saying goes, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. And yes, our my fellow storyteller does raise a good point in the comments section. Kindred don't have oils to leave fingerprints, so y'all are clean. This is the cleanest getaway that you will probably ever make.
Like the good old days.
So that remains. The question remains, Ian. Are you going to join your other two coterie mates at the medical center to give the good doctor the news, or are you going to find someplace else to be for the evening?
No, absolutely. Especially to repay him for the hospitality.
Excellent. And Sharky, are you joining the rest of your coterie in letting Dr. Ball know what has transpired this evening? Or at least the version of events that we want getting out?
Sharky's repayment to Dr. Ball was making certain that in their treaty he was able to keep his domain as a portion of the treaty. So in Sharky's mind, he's already done his repayment to Dr. Ball because he's probably more free now than he has pretty much ever been in the past, to do as he pleases. But he probably would join them. He is definitely going to the airport because he wants to secure it, make certain that he can make it his before anybody else even tries to step foot in that basement. But he's probably gonna see Dr. Ignatius Ball, tell him thank you, tell him what happened, tell him that he's free now to do as he wishes, so long as the other Baron doesn't get fussy.
That's fair. So the four of you, plus your driver, are able to make your way back to the medical campus and up to the floor that otherwise does not exist, where you see Dr. Ball is actually sitting in what used to be a waiting room, just kind of watching television. He's seems to have finished his experiments for the evening and is winding down. And he sees the four of you walk in, and he gives that polite, doddering smile. I hope everything went well this evening.
As well as could be expected.
Excellent. So, what did occur this evening, if I may be so bold?
Tragedy.
Oh.
We managed to settle the dust. And have a new Baron Tycho.
Oh.
You won't have to deal with that pesky Holt and his temper no more.
That Holt, such a shame, such a volatile man.
That's putting it politely, Dr. Ball.
He let his anger get the better of him, as usual.
Well, his family is well known for their passionate stances.
That is one way to describe it.
Politely, might I add.
Baron Tycho now rules the majority of this territory as a sole standing survivor.
Oh my, that does seem. I shall have to pay my respects.
You've already been granted this haven as your domain.
Oh, well, that's fantastic news. I can continue my experiments unimpeded then.
Indeed.
Yes, you should. I would still pay your respects to the new Baron, however.
And he'll nod. So I take it you all will be departing then?
I would, if it was okay with you, Doctor, I'd like to stay one more night here so I can make sure all my things are packed.
Of course, of course.
I wouldn't want to impose on you any longer than necessary. So,
Oh, it's no imposition at all. It's actually nice to have a bit of company from time to time. An old man does get lonely.
You will continue seeing us. However, we will not be leaving, per se.
Just moving.
And he gives a nod at that. Well, if there is anything any of you ever need, you know you may always call on me.
Of course, thank you.
Of course.
you, sir, are one of the brightest spots of these entire nights. Thank you.
I would call you a flatterer if I felt you insincere.
I will be going with Sharky to this evening to keep an eye on them and to assist in whatever they're going to be doing, potentially.
I will be inspecting my new domain as the new Baron of Northampton.
Oh. And he'll offer like a slight genuflection.
If you wish, you may claim a second haven there as a friend of mine, Dr. Ball.
That is greatly appreciated, Baron. I will need some time to digest all of this, but I do hope that this means there are more peaceful nights ahead for the valley.
Certainly more stable nights.
Good, good.
We intend to keep it that way as best as possible.
And he gives a nod. Well, I won't. Those of you who choose to stay are more than welcome to. Those who would like to make their way, I won't keep you much longer. After all, the night is growing short, and I do have some minor paperwork to fill out. I'll be keeping to myself most of the rest of the evening.
Yes, I do have an errand to run, but thank you again for allowing us to stay.
Of course, of course. As I said, an old man does tend to get lonely, and having the company these nights has been very pleasant. And
Well,
he
I'm glad we were
he
able
kind of
to keep
oh,
you
go ahead.
company. I'm glad we were able to keep you company, Doc.
And he gives another bow to each of you in turn before he toddles over and turns off the television and gives you a pleasant good night before he toddles off into one of the many offices off of the hallway, leaving the four of you once again alone. So, Sharky, Dr. Beck, we are headed over to the airport.
That's where Sharky's going. Dr. Beck said she was going, or they were going with me, I should say.
So, gathering up what personal effects you might have here at the hospital and then heading over.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, sent from my flip phone, sending out a text, letting back home know tempers have been mended. calm or stability has returned.
Okay. So you're sending a text back to the senor?
Correct.
Okay. That leaves us with Ashton is going to be packing up his personal effects and then staying an extra night here at the medical campus. Ian,
He
you
brought
said you had a.
clothes.
He brought a
he's
lot
got
of clothes.
to pack. Lots of things to make it homey. So, yeah, he's got a lot to pack. So he's going to have to stay another night for sure.
Okay. And Ian, you said you had another small errand that you needed to run?
Couple small errands, in fact.
Okay.
First, I need to stop by the airport. And that back door that I identified earlier, I need to slip in through that. And I need to be there when Sharky arrives.
Okay. So go ahead and give me. I'm going to need 2 rolls from you. One of them is going to be a dexterity and stealth. The other is going to be an intelligence and technology.
Can I substitute the larceny for the technology on that one?
Yes, you may.
Thanks.
Don't Venture refer to that skill as security?
Security,
said I'm not like
larceny.
Venture.
They go hand in hand, really.
Oh, yeah, that's not great. Can't re-roll those, though.
Ooh, yeah, no. You would be unable to re-roll those. But you will be... Your coterie will notice you exiting the medical campus. But to where, who can say? You did say you had errands that you had to run. So, like, plausible deniability.
Yeah, I'll take the messy.
Okay. The larceny is quite successful. However, we are going to hit you with... You know what? Let's see. The general 1d10 8. The paranoia compulsion seems to be a good order for the evening. After all, you were witness to some horrible, terrible things this evening, and it does put you a bit on edge. But yes, I think that will do nicely as the consequence for that messy. And then, but you are able to slip in to the airport unnoticed. No one seems to pay you much attention at all. So now we are going to move over to Sharky and Dr. Beck. Because as the two of you leave the medical campus and take a ride over to the airport, you park. Are you heading in through the main entrance? Or are you going to look for a side entrance to enter through?
Sharky would be looking for a side entrance.
Okay. Now, in our post 9/11 world, while there are a great many side entrances, most of them are either locked completely or have a keycard access. As you make your way to what you would assume to be the best side entrance, you are approached by a man. A tall, well-dressed man in a long beige overcoat and a matching fedora. And please, for sake of argument, remind me of your mask name again?
My mask name?
Yes.
It's his normal name. Brain. Knox. Jameson Knox.
And the man approaches you and says, Mr. Knox, I've been ordered to furnish these for you. And he reaches into his coat and pulls out a small manila envelope. Inside of that manila envelope are 4 RFID cards. And he turns and walks away into the night. But along with the 4 RFID cards is a small, looks to be a hastily scrawled note. You may need these. T.
Remind me to have Ian change the locks so that way Baron Tycho can't get back in here.
I mean, the fact that they were able to acquire them so quickly, I doubt that's, even if changing the locks, I doubt that's going to be that much of an issue for the newly minted Baron. Speaking of, Baron, really?
Bishop. Thank you.
Bum, bum, bum.
But we can continue using the term Baron for now. As he scans the keycard.
Yep. And the door pops open. You're able to make your way down to the basement, which has been cleared out of people, except one. Mr. Pharaoh, you may choose to make your presence known now if you would like.
Absolutely. Evening.
Pharaoh.
Hi, Ian. What you doing here? I'm just curious. I don't care.
Proving a point. A point that I want you to take to heart.
You're actually just the man I wanted to see.
You don't know anything about your enemies. You claim that they all act in the same way and they all perform in the same manner. You own one of their strongholds. Look around.
I'm aware.
They built this. They know ways in. You don't. They know ways in. I don't. And yet here I am, already inside.
Which is why I was going to ask you to run a full analysis.
There is no way I will find it. There is no way I will find them all. It would be impossible. There will always be a hole here. You will always be caught here. They will always kill you if you remain.
This is not a haven.
This is the source of your power in this area.
Is a court.
And your court is already compromised if I haven't proven that to you.
That's what I just said. But, I'm the dumb Dr. Hick that don't know nothing.
I haven't said anything against you.
They know far more than you've given them credit for.
I'm well aware, and Baron Tycho has already shown that. I have a feeling she was eyeing this location, was hoping I wouldn't take it quite yet. But she gave it to me nonetheless because I asked for it.
She wasn't hoping you wouldn't take it. She was hoping you would take it. You did exactly what she wanted. We all did exactly what she wanted.
I will say, while y'all were arguing, I did point this out.
And for now, it has been profitable to do so. I agree with you. This is their side of power. I agree with you that it is compromised, and I agree with you, Mr. Pharaoh, that she will likely use it against me to some degree. However, for now we
To
have an
every
alliance.
degree.
For
You do
now we
not
have.
have an alliance. You have words. An alliance between us, between our type, between our people, is only sealed in blood. And I did not see either of you do that.
Would you prefer us to get blood married?
That is the only way you could be sure. But no, I would not prefer that for you.
And this is the point, as Sharky walks over to what was Ducard's throne, and sits upon it and crosses his legs. I've got another weapon on its way.
It won't be enough.
You're right. Alone, it won't be enough. But between you, Ashton, Dr. Beck, Michelle, the Slayer, my former Ductus, what remains of our pack, and any other allies we can come up against, I do believe we will be able to find weaknesses.
No, we won't. We are the ones with the weaknesses. We are the ones being exploited.
And then let us shore up our weaknesses. We don't have to remain the exploited. Or would you rather us not have a domain? Us not profit off of Tycho?
Domains get you killed. Titles get you killed.
So you'd rather live a life, an insignificant life, and die insignificantly than make your mark upon the world?
Dr. Beck's
I,
going to walk up and stand beside Sharky and put his hand on Sharky's shoulder and just pat him. Not saying anything.
there are multiple ways to make marks. When you make them too quickly, too deeply, and too loudly, they get erased.
Weren't you the one who was telling me I should become Baron?
You should. But did you think that it should happen this quickly?
And once I kill
Or
Tycho,
this
we'll
easily?
have our barony.
I will look up at where I would suspect there to be recording devices, not say anything to follow up on that, and exit the room.
Okay.
It's so fun to play with your food, isn't it? Mr. Pharaoh, Dr. Beck, once he has calmed down, ask him to do an analysis.
I will, Sharky. Here's the thing. You're letting this go too far, too fast to that little head of yours. And I swear, I have no issues just making you take a nap again. If you get
I
too out of hand.
agree with you. I agree with you. I'm letting this go too far, but I had to make a point. I had to make a point that Mr. Ian needs to be willing to do more than what he's been willing to do. So, I made my
Both of
point.
you cooking yourselves.
Now, Dr. Barca, how would you like the title of sweeper?
I don't want no damn title, Sharky. What about me? Look at me. What about me says I want any kind of title, any kind of notoriety, any kind of presence? I've been hiding for good reason for many years. Do not
Because
put nothing like that on me.
the reason why I want to give you the title of sweeper is because if we're going to hold a domain, we need to make certain that I cannot be holding it alone. And you, Ashton, and Ian are the only 3 individuals right now that I trust.
I understand that, but I will be a shadow. You will not see me. Nobody shall see me do nothing.
And that makes you a perfect sweeper.
Nobody knows that that's whatever title you want to bestow upon me, your lordship.
Would you rather be Reeve? I was going to give that title, officially give that title to Ian. We're anarchs after all. Anarchs after all.
Like I said, I don't want no damn title. Don't tell nobody I got no damn title.
Then will you
I'll just
act
do what
as
I
my
need to do, when I need to do it, how I need to do it.
Will you act as my sweeper but not take the title?
Fine.
Okay. You and Ashton will share it. Ashton can have the title himself. I'm certain he'll hear a title and he'll go, "Ooh, shiny!"
And at that, we are going to close out that scene there in the basement. And our camera is going to recenter on Mr. Farrow as he is exiting the airport. Mr. Farrow, as you are exiting the airport, making your way back out into the parking lot proper, your phone buzzes. A text message.
Take a look.
Our kinds of deals are sealed in blood. There was precious little blood tonight. H.
What time is it?
It is. It's getting on 4. You've got about 2 hours to sunrise.
I trust Dr. Ball. I need to head back there. He's at least not. He's had plenty of opportunity to kill me, and he hasn't yet.
This is true. He's actually really enjoyed your company. So,
Right.
there's that.
Yes. And on the way back, text back to the number on the business card. Meet tomorrow? Question mark.
The response you get is an address.
Send a
I
little
don't
thumbs
know
up
which
emoji.
one yet. I have to figure it out.
We'll get something over to you, and we can schedule like a little side session for that too.
Send a little thumbs up emoji. Head back to
Excellent.
Dr. Ball's.
And as we close out that scene, we have one final scene that is not seen by any of our characters. Dr. Ball toddles through his office, fingers trailing along surfaces. Before he gets to the office phone, he lifts the receiver, dials a phone number, and presses the receiver to his ear. The phone rings once, twice, and the voice on the other end answers.
It is late for an old man.
Yes, but I bring news, Friar.
Good, bad, Indifferent.
They have done as you asked, but I worry the Knox boy has let things go to his head.
It will stabilize.
It will, with a steady hand, and far more stable than it was a night ago.
And what do you mean?
Russo will want blood.
And if there is none to be had?
If there is none to be had, I will take care of the problem myself. For you, Bishop.
You should not call me this.
Forgive an old man for old ways.
Very well. And keep your eye on things.
As you wish. And with that, we call this session of Philly by Night to a close. We're going to go around our table. I would like our players to introduce themselves, who you are, where we can find you, any new, fun, interesting projects coming on the pike. We are going to start with, quite honestly, the best little intern in the Lehigh Valley. I kid, but certainly in the running for my favorite blue blood in this game. Mr. Farrow, who are you? Where can we find you? Can we find you? Any fun projects coming down the pike?
Yeah. So I'm Kyrie. I obviously play Ian. Have a great time playing Ian, and you can definitely find me here on Philly. I don't have any fun projects that are anything physical or even virtual yet, but I am working on designing a few games. So I'll let you know how that goes once I get closer and closer to completion.
Feel free to popcorn it over to a fellow player.
Oh, I think we got to go with Chandler.
Hello, my name is Chandler. I play Sharky, the new undisputed Baron of
Oh wow! Oh wow!
of probably just a block at some point somewhere in the north that Tycho doesn't care about. However, claims a lot more territory so far than he actually has. But new undisputed Baron of everywhere above the 44th at this point, or not the 44th, everywhere above the 22nd interstate. Right now, you can find me on the internet in places if you look hard enough. I guess I really don't have any projects coming down the line really. As of right now, once I move, we should be getting up and running a new game at some point that I'm going to be running that may be getting streamed. We'll see. But for now, just me. You can see me in places. You can see me here. If you see me in a Discord server, you found me. Name's Kingdom on any places. So try to look for me there. I'm going to go ahead and popcorn it down to my lovely fiance, Mr. Vanguard.
Well, my name's Johnny, but thank you, honey. Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm here. I'm there. I'm everywhere. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Once we move, we might have a game that we're planning to do as an audio drama set in the Queen City. And for clarification, that is Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, that'll be fun. And with that, I guess it's our favorite doctor's turn.
Hi, everybody. I'm Doss. I'm not currently working on anything. Maybe after I move and get settled, I will have some projects in the works, but currently not working on anything. Just keep as much off my plate as possible. um, but that's about it. So our lovely ST Einar.
Hi, I am Einar. You can find me online anywhere I want you to find me at Einar TTRPG. Uh, you can also find me where the skies are blue at In Stars Orbit. I am the lead storyteller here at Philly by Night. I also run the New Guard table. I assist with our Sireless Behavior Fledglings table. And you can also find me right here at the Emissaries table. We've got a couple of fun little projects coming down the pike here at Philly by Night. We do have a one shot coming sometime in June that's going to kick us back to the glitz and glam of 1987 Philadelphia while we follow a coterie of wealthy and well-to-do kindred who have to navigate the dark chrome and neon lit nights of a time long past. Other than that, you can find me occasionally popping up on other streams here and there. You can occasionally catch me playing a villain over on Basics of the Games stream, their 7th Sea game. You can find me here, there, and everywhere. And lastly, but not leastly, we'll bounce things over to my lovely partner in crime.
Good evening. As usual, I am G'day Effects. You can find me anywhere I want you to with G'day Effects. It's usually G'day_effects, except where the skies are blue and on the tube of you. In which case, it's all one word smashed together, GHEDEFX. I have a couple of seminars that I will be teaching at Gen Con, so feel free to catch me there. Otherwise, I'll always be here, annoying and squeezing emotional juice out of my players on Philly by Night.
And once again, thank you all so much for coming out and giving our silly little vampire game a chance. We love and appreciate every single one of you. Have a safe and happy night. And remember, just because we play monsters doesn't mean we can't be the light in somebody's world. You are loved. You are appreciated. Have a good night and stay safe.